Hello and welcome back to your favorite Sacramento sports show.
Beam City Sports. There's no Beam in Sacramento for a while.
Yes, sir. We are back. Vibes are not high for us Kings fans, but we are back at the Beam City Sports Bar. A lot to talk about today. I'm feeling good, though, because I got my boys with me, Jackson, Luke, and Devin. How are we feeling outside of, the Kings' horrible loss and the season being over?
I'm still feeling good. It's beautiful here in Sacramento. Besides these allergies are killing me right now, but it's still beautiful here. I'm glad to be here at the bar. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, outside of that shit show the other day, pretty good. And we got some good playoff matchups to watch here for the rest of the year, I guess. We're going to watch them. But and it's, baseball season, so, other than that, vibes are pretty high for me, but...
Yeah, Jackson, you got your Lakers playing later today. This will come out tomorrow after game one, so you nervous for tonight, or you think you guys got it in the bag?
Bron and Luka have losing records in game ones, but I don't know. It feels like this series to me doesn't really feel like if it were the Warriors or if it were like the Thunder, I'd be like, okay, this is a playoff series,
yeah.
Or like Nuggets, Clippers, any of those. But like this feels like round one, of the next round.
So you think you guys got it in the bag easily?
I think the Timberwolves probably steal a game or two because of Bron and Luka bullshitting or something.
Okay.
But I think it goes maybe 5, 6 max.
Okay. Giving the Timberwolves a couple games, I like it. But yeah, if you're listening on YouTube, go like and subscribe. The views are going up.
Please do.
Need some more subscribers. Me, Luke, and Devin were on the news before the Kings playing game.
Looking stupid.
Saying that the Kings were going to, shock the world and win these 2 games. But
Don't watch it, bro.
Obviously that didn't happen. But so that was still fun. But we got a lot to go over today. The Kings did fire Monte McNair right after the game. It was actually mutual that they both, are going to go their separate ways.
Yeah.
They hired Scott Perry already, so that looks like they already had a plan to do that before even firing Monte.
100%.
We're going to be going over what's next for the Sacramento Kings. There's a lot of question marks going into this offseason. But then we'll go around the NBA, talk about what happened in the play-in last night, and then we'll predict the entire NBA playoffs. So stay tuned for that. It should be a fun one.
Yes, sir.
But let's go on the Kings, man. Embarrassing loss in the play-in versus Dallas. Horrible loss. But less than 2 hours after, we fired Monte McNair and then hired Scott Perry right after. Initial thoughts, Kings fans over here. What you guys feeling?
I at least make it look like we're trying as an organization, and not just filling it in. Like, these are moves that I made in making my 2K GM.
Yeah.
Just all right, no, he's the best. I'll pick him up. But yeah, I thought we were already as low as we were in the NBA, as clowns, but we got even lower somehow.
Yeah.
It's not looking good right now.
Not looking good.
I went down with the ship. I'm at the bottom of the sea with them.
Yep. We're all there with you.
Yep.
Dev, initial thoughts after the firing, the horrible loss in the play. We won't even get into the box score of that one. Me and Dev were in the building for that, so that was horrible loss, ugly one. Clay went crazy. That's all we really gotta say.
Lost in the sauce, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at the firing or mutual parting of ways or the hiring, but it does look kind of weird when it's done so quick like it was. Like Luke said, I kind of would have liked there to be at least even if they were lying, bro, but they were we got this many people, we're gonna and just drag it out a little bit, but overall, lost in the sauce. I mean, I don't know what the plan is from here. We're going to talk about it and get into some ideas, but, thinking about it first time, I have no clue.
Yeah, it's a rough time here in Sacramento for us Kings fans. Nothing new, of course. We've been through it all. But, Jackson, I am excited to hear what you think from, Lakers fan, what you think the Kings should do this offseason to benefit the roster. We'll get into that in a little bit. But we should go over what Monte McNair said right after his firing. Said Vivek Ranadive made him sign DeMar DeRozan, made him fire Mike Brown, and made him trade De'Aaron Fox for Zach LaVine. So he, was doing what the owner was telling him to do. He didn't want to do it, but he had to do it. So how do we feel about that?
I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
You look at teams around the league, and you don't really see a lot of owners that are just putting their fingers in everything with the team.
The owners. Yeah.
But it's leave it to the GM. Monty,
exactly.
I mean, he had a great track record before Vivek started to mess with everything. And I feel like everybody was hating on me when I said Monty was a good man, like a smart man. I know he was making good moves, and then immediately Vivek just came in and started changing everything up, and everybody blamed Monty at that point.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, just I'm getting tired of Vivek right now. I know he's never going to sell. That's not how it's going to work for us. But hopefully it changes with Scott Perry coming in.
Yeah, it kind of feels like we're going back to the time around where they, traded Cousins right before they got Fox and, kind of blew it all up. Fuck, I forgot what I was going to say. One sec.
Well, Monty did make some comments after, saying how he loved his time in Sacramento, always been grateful for, the Vivek and the Kings organization. He said the Beam team brought him so much joy, and, he still said that to Kings fans, you're simply the best. I'll never forget the roar before Game 1 or the countless other memories. And he said, light the beam, Monte McNair.
It seems like from people departing, we get that a lot. Like, no slight to the fans or whatever. Everybody pays their respect to the fans, but it seems there's one common denominator in all these, departures,
Yeah, it's just the organization is just not a good one.
Yeah.
Probably the worst in the NBA right now.
That, makes me think.
There's Dallas.
Okay, yeah. Hey, but we lost the Dallas.
We just lost it.
We just lost the Dallas without Luka, so it is rough, but
And without Kyrie, bro. If he was playing
without Kyrie, too. And then Dallas goes on to lose by 20 against Memphis, so
it makes you think, do people want to come here to Sacramento? It's just Vivek is starting to tarnish the image of coming here and trying to turn around this organization right now. So it's a, like you said, it's a tough time here in Sacramento.
I don't know who would want to come to Sacramento right now.
The big signing that you guys have had was DeRozan.
Yeah,
that's
but
it.
Now
And they ruined
it's
that.
really just you have to trade all of them.
Yeah.
You have to trade Sabonis, LaVine, DeRozan. There's really no pathway to contend or even rebuild to keeping them.
You don't think we can keep Sabonis?
I don't think Sabonis can be a key piece on a title contending team.
Okay.
it's not crazy to say that.
crazy.
Unless he has a center who can shoot threes and block shots.
Yeah,
He had one.
he had one in Miles Turner.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I love Sabonis, man. He's my favorite big man in the whole league. But he is known as a floor riser and not a ceiling riser.
Yeah.
Floor riser means we can get to the play-in every year. We can be around that 8 to 10 range. But as him as our best or second best guy, we're never going to be a real title contender.
Yeah.
And it's just he's never been a playoff riser either. He hasn't really been there that much, but. The times that he hasn't been a playoff riser. He's a great regular season player, though. He comes to play every night in the regular season, leads the league in double-doubles every year. So that means something, but, you need guys that are going to come to play when it matters most.
Yeah.
And I don't think he, doesn't play hard in the playoffs or the play-in games. It's just his game doesn't translate to those, high-leverage games.
And he excels at what he excels at. But it's a very minimal amount of what he excels at.
Mm-hmm.
But he does it so well that he's seen as a star.
Yeah.
But the things that he, in the playoffs at least, it really exposes what he doesn't. His lack of shooting, some of his, defensive miscues, things like that.
Yeah.
Which is why you need another big, to move him back to the 4, who can kind of cover that ground.
I don't even know what to do with him because moving him to the 4, and who's he going to guard at the 4? The Clippers are playing Kawhi at the 4 most of their games. You can't have him guarding the 4s.
You need a big that's mobile.
Yeah.
That's why I think, personally, my ideal spot for him would be the Grizzlies.
Damn.
Because next
Him
to
and
Jaren
Jaren?
Jackson, that's a pretty good. Jaren can't rebound.
Can't rebound. Sabonis rebound.
Sabonis can.
Yeah.
Sabonis can't shoot.
They
Jaren
make
can
up
shoot.
for each other's flaws. You
Exactly.
are right. Would we take Zach Edey for Dumas?
No.
I'm kidding. They better give us more than that. But yeah,
Give me Desmond Bain.
they're not doing that.
Good job, bro.
Oh, hey, I'm down. I'm on board. Get Ja Wait to sack. I'm down. But yeah, let's move on to Scott Perry. His track record in the NBA. 2000 to 2008, he was a Pistons front office executive and won the title in 2004. Put together that defensive-minded Pistons team, and that was, a really a big team for the whole NBA. That's just a stamp in the NBA is that Pistons defensive team, and they're the first team to win the championship known as a defensive, team. So that's big. Obviously, he's a defensive guy. And then he went to the Supersonics, assistant general manager, helped draft KD, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. So, he has an eye for talent. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking at draft stuff back then. We were, 5 years old. But I don't know if those
I
picks
was
were
7.
like, yeah,
I was 7.
I don't know if those picks were so obvious that like you don't give him credit for it. But I mean, he did end up drafting him, so
Yeah.
I'm giving him a little credit there.
I'll take it because I mean the Thunder were one of my favorite teams when it was KD, Russ, and Harden.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm happy to see that little track record right there.
Yeah, for
and then
sure.
also the Knicks, when he was on the Knicks, he helped kind of get them back to
Yeah.
playoff
He
contention
did.
and everything. So I don't know. I feel like it would. I think it's the right move, but it's just so soon to tell, and it sucks just because it went so quick.
It's tough, and we didn't go and look for another interview other people or anything like that.
someone.
Obviously, Vivek already had a plan in mind, so kind of a weird look.
Yeah.
But then he went to the Pistons again, 2008, 2012, then to the Magic in 2012 to 2017, then to the Knicks in 2017 and 2021, and he was with the Kings for a couple months in 2017, helped draft the Aaron Fox. He was high on Justin Jackson and Harry Giles. Neither of those two panned out, but I did think those were good draft picks back in the day. I was
Yeah.
hyped when we got those
We
guys.
need
So.
to sign Harry
was
Giles right
yeah,
now,
The
bro.
projected best player in the class.
Yeah, he was
and
number
then
one
had
pick in high
injuries.
school. Out of high school, he was number one guy. So
And Justin Jackson hit the crazy shot for North Carolina
Yeah.
in that North
and
Carolina-Villanova
he
game.
wasn't bad. Justin Jackson was a solid guy, and obviously his main thing was defense. So
He has a
he's a
ring.
defensive-minded guy. Justin Jackson has a ring with Milwaukee, right? So that's crazy.
But like all of his, talent identifications have been good defenders, and that's the way I kind of hope he builds this team.
Yeah,
From scratch or from wherever, however they do it. But it's been kind of consistent throughout the years, so I'm hoping that that's kind of the mindset going into these next few years or however long he's here.
yeah, definitely seems like he's a defensive-minded guy. So that
Yeah.
gets me excited. The teams that are good these days have the long wings that can guard multiple positions, centers that can actually protect the rim, and a point guard on the team.
Yeah.
So,
I
and
think-
Domas said it after the game, we need a point guard.
I think because of his defensive mindedness, it probably means Keon and Carter are staying.
Yeah,
I would
which
assume.
I'm fine with. But everyone else, and Keegan,
Yeah,
And Keegan.
but this also means that LaVine and DeRozan are probably the first ones out.
And-
that depends on the influence of the ownership.
Well, he
Yeah.
was on a podcast too. I forget which
Yeah,
one it was,
we were
but
gonna
he was
get into
talking
that.
about Zach, and if he's a winning player or
Mhm.
not. Same thing with DeMar. He didn't say about DeMar specifically, but that's kind of what we've been talking about. So I could see both those guys being gone if there's a way to do it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, his comments on LaVine, I don't know how long ago they were, but they weren't too long ago. He said, no question Zach LaVine can score the basketball, but does he impact winning? Zach LaVine has been to one playoff series in 9 years. He's played a total of 4 playoff basketball games. And then he said, I'm looking at 49 million for a guy who just doesn't impact winning. So he said that on national TV
But you also
not
have
long
to
ago.
look at the other side, though. What teams has LaVine had? He was on Minnesota for half his career
Yeah.
and had Cat that was young, Wiggins
Yeah.
that was young, and then he got traded to Chicago, who didn't have anything till 2-3 years ago, 2022.
I do think it's unfair.
And they
Yeah.
were the best team in the East or like
a
second,
month.
third best for like a month.
2
Yeah,
months,
until
maybe,
Lonzo
yeah.
went down and
Yeah.
Caruso went down, and that was it.
Yeah.
So I do think that team, they wouldn't have won anything, but I think they probably could have made the second round if they were healthy.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that too. It is a little unfair to, bash Zach like that because of the teams he's been on. That's a good point. Going back early in the year when Zach was in all these trade rumors, I said Denver would be the perfect spot for him.
Yeah.
And I think right now, just watching that Denver versus Clippers game, Denver got the dub, but Denver would love a guy like Zach LaVine. Be that, third option. Him
Yeah.
behind Jamal Murray and Jokic and kind of just hit some spot up threes and, show his athleticism a little bit. I think that would be a good fit. But being on a team like the Kings is just
That's
a horrible
not-
fit.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
not a good look for Zach.
I mean, I kind of like thinking about it now. I kind of like the idea of keeping him and sending DeMar away because I think he is a lot better without playing with DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
So but then I'm thinking about the lineups and stuff. Obviously we're gonna keep Keon. Would he still start or would Zach? I don't know. But I wouldn't mind the idea
guard
of
heavy.
trying to retool around Zach LaVine and keep Sabonis. Maybe not.
I
I'm down
love
to
Zach.
keep Sabonis stuff.
I love Zach. I don't think that's the move.
No.
And especially when you
I
go
mean-
back and look at the comments that our new GM made
Yeah,
about
I
him.
don't
That's
think
true.
Zach is going to be here much longer.
That relationship is, not going to
It's
go
already
anywhere.
a little tarnished.
I know Zach has probably seen these comments too, so he's waiting to
Yeah.
probably get moved this offseason. And, you know, I love Zach LaVine. I think he's a great player, but not what this Kings team needs right now. Same with DeMar. I think it's just time to, you know, move on.
Yeah. And then also, I mean, I don't know if you were going to bring up the coaching thing right now, but I don't know. Are we all buying in on Doug Christie? Or?
It's a tough one. It's definitely a tough one. I wouldn't be mad if we kept Doug. You know, Shams came out and said it looks like the Kings are, you know, gearing towards keeping Doug Christie as the head coach. So that's a report that came out. I wouldn't be mad at it, especially if we, you know, trade DeMar, trade Zach, maybe even trade Domas and go young. Doug is good with these young guys. He can get guys motivated, get guys to believe in themselves. And I think that's what you need with a young team. With a team like we had this year, Zach, DeMar, and, you know, some known guys throughout the league, Doug isn't, like, the right coach for that. They all respect Doug. Yeah. They all said high praises for Doug and all that, but, you know, having a team with guys that have been all-stars, done all this in their careers, Doug isn't the right guy for that. He's someone that's going to motivate young guys. And we saw it in the Summer League a couple years ago. He got those guys to the championship in the Summer League. Not that that means anything, but he motivates young guys.
You also need to give him a chance with the personnel that he would want on his team. You need to give him an offseason to try and build that.
So I was going to say Bobby Jackson was in the building the other night. I mean, do you think he might be joining Christie's coaching staff? If
I could see it. Let's get all those.
Comes back from Philly.
I mean, obviously that didn't work out in Philly, so I wouldn't be surprised if he leaves there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that was relating to Doug. That was also something that came out in the article from the Monte comments about. I think it said he didn't want to keep Doug Christie anymore, and so that's why, like, them parting ways is kind of pointing more towards them keeping Doug, because I think it said Vivek was kind of seen as the Christie backer as well. Yeah. I think it said exactly, but
I know. Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad if we keep Doug, and also I don't hate Vivek. I mean, he saved Sacramento. He kept the team in Sacramento. He does need to, you know, take them. And a lot of Kings fans are coming for his head, you know, because he's putting his fingerprints all over this team and what we've done. Monty said he didn't want to make any of these moves,
and I think if you're the general manager role is to help build the team. Obviously, you can have a relationship with the management, like how Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka have one, right? But she leaves it up to Rob to do what he does.
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, it should just be the GM, and then be like, okay, I'm going to do this move. I'm going to run this by you, and then if they have the, you know, they can have the final say in it. But they should trust the GM's judgment, and I think they just didn't trust Monty's judgment.
Yeah, and Vivek just, you know, is demanding him to make these certain moves. That's just, you know, a bad look.
It's a horrible
look. You got to let your basketball minds do the basketball moves. I know Vivek loves hoop, and, you know, he loves this team in Sacramento, and I love his enthusiasm about it, but, you know, his comments previously, like a long time ago when he first took over, are just scary when you just look at what he said. He said, you know, he'd want to play 4-on-5. This came out when the Kings were horrible, right when we got to Aaron. That he wanted to, you know, think about having a guy not even play defense and just have him on the other side of the floor. He also came out and said he wanted to full court press all game because he saw his daughter's middle school team do it and it was successful. Are you joking? This is NBA basketball. Vivek needs to take a step back and let the basketball minds do what they know is best. Monty wouldn't have made those moves. We were happy when DeMar got signed, but obviously wasn't the right move for the team.
That's what you're paying the GM to
and
do.
Monty knew it.
There's no reason to pay them if you're just going to be like, oh, no, let's do this instead. Like, what's the point in it?
Hey, nobody's tried it, so
should we do the 4-on-5? Still up in the air? He also said Nick Stauskas was Steph Curry and Klay Thompson in one player. So, and the guys we picked him over.
Was he wrong?
Hey, for a couple games he wasn't wrong, but, you know, I love Nick Stauskas.
He's definitely messed up a few things for us. It's been more than a few, so he needs to take a step fucking back.
To take a step back. Love Vivek though, but it's a weird one. We gotta just let, you know, basketball minds
make his daughter the GM.
Yeah, she probably will be pretty soon. Don't sleep on that.
Speak that
she probably will.
Right?
Well, we're gonna take a quick break and then we'll go over what the Kings should do next with these trades.
Hell yeah.
All right, so, you know, going over some more things that Scott Perry has done. In the NBA draft, he's known for identifying talent he did help draft Victor Oladipo, Aaron Gordon, R.J. Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, and Quentin Grimes.
Defense.
All those guys are solid players. Victor Oladipo obviously is out of the league, but he had a good
Hey,
career.
he had a long career.
Yeah, not too long, but it was good. His injuries, derailed
Was it
him.
really not that
7.
long?
Not
I feel
too
like
long.
that man was in the league for like 10 years.
He got
Maybe
drafted
10.
in 2013,
Yeah.
and then retired in 2020-ish. That was kind of the end of his career.
Yeah, around
Yeah.
10. Yeah, good guess. But yeah, it's gonna be rough. Kings fan tweeted out and said Scott Perry is one of Vivek's mates. That will be perfect. He'd be used as the face of management, and nothing will change until Vivek sells the team.
It's not ridiculous to say
that's
that.
the reality of
It's
it.
not
Say that.
ridiculous to say that at all. But I hope Scott Perry, puts his foot down and says, "Hey, let me make some moves here." But also, there was after the Kings lost the next day, one of the NBA, insiders made a video talking about what the Kings need to do this offseason and all that. And they said that if someone told Vivek to, go on a vacation for 2 years and don't look at the Kings at all, don't make any decisions, let the basketball minds do what they want to do, and then if you come back in 2 years and they're a 6 seed and in the playoffs, he wouldn't do it. Because he wants to, be a part of making the team better.
I mean, it's not ridiculous to say that.
And it's just sad to say that.
I think the example is him bringing Monty in and then, letting that little 1 year, 1.5 or 2 years, and then the playoff year happening. I think he was kind of stepped back like we want him to be now. And then, I don't think it was the wrong thing to do to try to run it back again after. It's just the West got healthy and the West got a little bit stronger through that crazy trade deadline 2 years ago. But, I mean, I think the panic for him set in after last season, and then this is kind of the result of him putting his fingers back in. Pause.
Yeah. That's crazy. Wow. Yeah, no, you're not wrong, though. That's definitely true. Would we be in the situation if Harrison Barnes made that shot Game 4 against the Warriors? Would we be in the spot?
We'd have a ring.
Probably.
We would probably
We'd have a ring.
De'Aaron would still be here, that's for sure. I don't know about a ring.
He'd have a ring.
Would
I
have
don't know
been
about
a
a ring.
4-game
We would've
series in the second round.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Nah, we would have swept second round.
We would have swept them. Easy.
I think we
Yeah.
did that
We
year.
were already
No, not
undefeated.
that year.
Yeah, that year. Yeah,
Not that year.
Dominated AD.
No, not
Domas-
2023.
Yeah,
That was 2024.
Domas was undefeated against AD in his whole career until this year. I'm pretty sure.
I don't
He's
think AD
not wrong.
played half those games. Because we have had a winning record
He
against you
definitely
guys.
did it that year. He definitely
you're-
played
you're
like 2
right.
games
Yeah,
that year.
Because you guys swept us last year, and then we swept you guys this year.
Yeah, so, hey, next year, look out.
Look out.
Look out.
Yeah, well, what will the team look like next year, though? That's the big question.
Pass.
The Seattle Super.
We already talked about will Doug stay as the head coach.
You guys are going to be
But-
in Vegas with the A's.
Oh no, talking about Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan. Do we keep one or do we get rid of both?
Now I'm down to get rid of both.
Both. Yeah.
I'm honestly
Well,
open
obviously-
for both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Obviously, the Zach one's probably gonna happen
If-
for
if
sure.
we're
because
gonna
of the
keep one-
Scott Perry thing.
Yeah.
if we're gonna keep one, I'd keep DeMar.
Damn.
Honestly.
I don't even want to
DeMar
keep
actually
DeMar
came
though.
out-
Keep DeMar, though.
Yeah. DeMar came out and said he hopes to get an offseason with Keegan Murray, and he talked very
Yeah, me
highly
too.
about Keegan and all this stuff, and he said he thinks if they get an offseason together that, he can elevate his game.
Tired of that
I believe that.
Yeah.
And
I
that-
believe
yeah.
he could make Keegan better.
I mean,
but-
we saw what the 1 year with Fox did for him offensively
Yeah.
and defensively, and so I mean, if it's got to be that, and we'd have to keep him for Keegan to make that leap. Shit.
Do we want Keegan taking post fades in the mid range all game though?
No.
Learning
No.
from DeMar?
No, you're right.
And
Just the mindset, though. I
And
think.
early in the year, when Keegan was, not scoring over 10 points for multiple games in a row, I came out and said that I love DeMar, but he's hindering Keegan's development.
Yeah.
And, if we keep him longer, even if they have a good offseason together, if Keegan, learn how to take a post-fade mid-range every once in a while, I don't think that's going to elevate his game that much if we still have DeMar on the team. It's just going to take shots away.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I think he just. My
Go
bad.
ahead.
I
No,
think he
you're
just got to be in a spot next year to where he's like one of the main shot takers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's going to really help his development more than that would.
Need it.
I don't think it would just be like post work, though, because
Yeah.
you look at DeRozan back on the Raptors, right? He was very good with his first step, getting to the rim,
Getting to the rim.
blowing past guys. So I think it would just be more of like the mentorship type of aspect,
Yeah.
which Keegan would benefit a ton from.
That's a
from
good
being
point.
DeRozan.
That's a good point.
And then also, Doug never had a chance to make a whole he doesn't have his own coaching staff. He also
Not at
doesn't
all.
have his
He's
own
just put into
playbook.
it,
He
yeah.
doesn't have anything. A lot of the time it was just let's just try and get mismatches, and you guys do ISO ball.
That's all it was.
And then
from the minute the play-in game started, it was just DeMar and Zach trying to
the
get
time
mismatches.
it
it
was
looked
ball.
bad. It was really bad.
Yeah.
Just because, especially after the trade and stuff.
Yeah.
So me personally, honestly, after this loss, I'm okay we lost that night. Not
Yeah.
the way we did lose. That shit pissed me off. But the fact that we lost now instead of making it to the playoffs and then getting swept by the
And
Thunder.
then them running it back again.
And then, so it's just,
yeah.
I don't know, I'd rather lose now and then we just
Good
get
point.
to it, try and figure stuff out for this team.
Rather than
And
prolong
then
it
prolong
for
it.
another 2 years
Yeah.
where we keep
yeah, we
all
got
these
the
Yeah.
whole playoffs to
'Cause then
think about what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
I feel like a whole lot more would be in the air right now, too. If we were in the playoffs,
Yeah.
we make it this far, then it's just like, all right, do we keep this team together? Do we go this way? Do we go that way?
If we
And then-
made it, yeah.
It's just like, I feel like it would just fail immediately next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably be even worse. If we did win, against Dallas and then somehow beat Memphis, us three would be up here saying we're going to the finals. We would be up here, talking out of our ass saying that we're going to the finals. We're
Back
going to be
in
the
pot A,
Miami Heat. Yeah, where we'd be back in pot A. But now
Yeah.
officially never going to be pot A again. I'm staying pot B forever. It's pot B is saying this team has a ceiling. We need the team that has a ceiling of a championship. I don't care how many years that takes. Give me another 17 years of horrible. If that's going to lead us to a championship, I would be fine with that.
I just want to see
I
us.
want to rebuild.
I just want to see us lift that fucking trophy.
Yeah.
All
It
pot
doesn't
A
even
is
real.
heartbreak, bro.
Yeah, it really is. You just get your hopes up and then it's going to
Yeah.
get broken, of course. So we're on board to trade Zach and DeMar. Do you think that's the right move for the Kings?
I think there's just no team that's going to want DeMar at this point.
I don't know who
Yeah.
would want either
because
of them.
he's a guy who needs the ball in his hands. He won't accept a six-man role. And you can't really build an offense around him anymore. So I think
be a
if he
great
goes,
six-man.
he would be. He would
If
be
he does,
elite.
yeah.
Best. He would win Six-Man of the Year easily.
Yeah.
But no, he's not going to do that.
He
He
wouldn't do
would
it.
just be another Lou Will. But he won't accept that because he still thinks he's a
Bro,
superstar.
I was literally saying that all season.
You were saying bring DeMar off the bench all season, and we were like, that's never going to happen. But
But I think LaVine, if you can ship him to the only team I'd say that you could possibly get something in return that's of some value is maybe Denver, if that's the scenario.
yeah,
But I would
Russ-
really
I don't
try
know what
to
we
ship
get.
him east.
Zeke
Brown.
Naji and
Christian Brown.
they wouldn't even
have-
give us Christian Brown. He's
So
too
you
good.
probably end up with one
Sweet.
of
Good.
Julian
to match
Strother?
it. You could probably get Strother,
Yeah, I'm down.
but you probably get MPJ too.
Oh, I'm down. Bring me MPJ,
But
please.
I'd say you probably have to throw in something else too.
yeah.
But
Two
the big one,
Keegans?
MPJ's a shooter that makes
no,
shots.
he's better. Yeah.
and MPJ on a bad team is going to average like 25.
I would be down. I'd be
let's
down
take
for
it.
an MPJ rebuild.
And then there's the Sabonis situation too.
Yeah.
Fuck it, if all we're doing is letting Vivek play my GM, why don't they let us play, dog?
Because we don't got the money. A team that I was thinking about that's a really weird destination for either Zach or DeMar or even Domas is Brooklyn.
You could get some good picks from
I
there.
think they have
do it.
Jordy Fernandez. I think, they don't have anyone to build around over there.
Yeah.
They really don't have a main guy. And if they got Zach or Domas, I think Jordy would, benefit from that.
Yeah.
And I think we could get a guy like Cam Thomas and maybe Nick Claxton and some picks maybe. Probably not the picks because
okay.
I think you have to
So-
take some type
Something
of
we
extra.
could have done in the
Yeah.
season.
Do they have any expiring guys that are of value?
I mean
other than-
Cam Thomas has a big contract.
Right
and I
now,
don't think
but
they want to
he's-
keep him.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
He's young, but
the only thing that scares me though is if we get rid of Domas. Yeah, he's not a true center, but then we don't have any big man
but
down
if we
low.
get Claxton back,
But,
that's more of a
that's-
I mean, yeah.
I think-
defensive-minded big.
IJ.
Isaac Jones. Hey, let's play him
Let's
30
start
minutes
it.
tonight.
Yeah, fuck it. But
I'm not mad.
I still don't. I mean, we need someone. Nowadays, you need someone who's 7 foot.
So,
Jay
you
Crowder.
need someone close
Here-
to 7 foot in the league.
what
right
about
now.
this?
Nah, he's gone.
If
We
he gets
ended his
traded,
playoff streak.
if the Memphis idea, right?
Yeah.
Edie's the main guy you're getting from that. Okay, that's a center. I
Can
know
you
you,
get Bagley back?
Hey,
Sorry.
Marvin
Maybe
was
possibly.
hooping last night. Marvin was
continue.
hooping.
for the point guard aspect, you get Scottie Pippen Jr.,
Okay.
get Gigi Jackson,
Okay.
Zach Edey. Those are your main pieces you're getting from there.
Get that for Domas.
And then
Say
you get a
less.
pick
I'm taking
and a
that.
second.
honestly, I'll take
I'm
it.
saying-
Keep
yes.
Laravia, we're Memphis West.
I
right?
Yeah.
think that condenses that is
Memphis is out west.
That's beneficial for both teams because
Kind of.
condenses
Northwest.
Memphis' roster issue where they have like 15 guys that can play.
Yeah.
True.
It gives other guys increased roles. They might need to sign a point guard, but that's not really a big deal for them.
Yeah.
I feel like. or they'll just give Yuki minutes.
We'll throw in Markel, bro.
Yeah, give him Mark.
And then you guys get a center, a point guard for the time being. I would not your point guard of the future, but Pippen Jr.'s solid.
He's solid.
And then Gigi Jackson, the bucket. He just hasn't had a good role this year because of their roster construction.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd love to get Gigi Jackson, but yeah.
That's for Sabonis.
yeah.
Yeah.
To Memphis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if they get. You'd probably take
I don't
some
want to see
salary back
Domas
too.
leave.
Yeah.
I want to see Domas stay, man.
If we trade Domas,
Me
I'm
too.
scared to trade him to a team out west.
that's
the
something.
case, yeah.
That's something we can't.
That's going to hurt. Domas did say he would love to stay in SAC, and he's loved his time here, and he wants to be here. He also said after the game, just straight, bluntly said, we need a point guard. And that's obvious. We've known that for a while, but...
I think
yeah.
he talked about wanting to be part of the decision making too, because
he should be.
they asked
Should
him
be. He's the
about if
franchise
they
player. Yeah.
if they said he was going to fire him, or if they told them he was going to fire Monty or not, and he was just like, nope. And that's literally all he said. He answered that shit hella quick, and he was just like, later in the interview, he was like, I do want to be a part of more of the like decision making going forward.
Why wouldn't he be already? I'm just like, I don't understand. It's such a players' league now. You have to go to your top 3 guys on your team and be like, hey, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about that?
You don't know what the team like.
Yeah.
I'm interrupting you. But
No,
like,
you gotta make sure they're on board with it.
It's so
Any
annoying.
move.
So annoying. Just like that's how the league functions now. You guys
And then
don't-
other players also see that too. When
Yeah.
they get when they're like, oh, what I want to go there. They kind of like no teams like look at the Mavericks. No player's gonna want to go there now.
No.
because
Not
of
at
what
all.
they just how
Yeah.
badly they screwed over Luka. Like I'm grateful for it, but you know, no franchise player's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna go there. You know, like
That's a great
of how
point.
long they respected Dirk, and then just to give up their franchise player for 7 years.
Yeah.
It's the same case if they just blindsided Sabonis or something. It was like, oh, we're sending you to Brooklyn, and he's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, then no one's going to come to SAC ever.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
exactly.
already hard enough
It's
to get
already
someone to come to
tough.
SAC. How do we feel about a Keegan Murray extension, though? He said he wants to
Yeah.
sign here. He wants to
100%.
get an extension this summer.
I want to keep him.
I don't know how much he's going to get paid, but it's probably going to be a lot.
That's why he's
Probably.
eligible for the max extension for a rookie or something.
Probably up there.
I don't know
Do
if
you
he
give
will
him the
be.
max though?
Man, I don't want to give him too much.
Because I
but
think
you gotta keep
30-ish a year is fine for him. But if you can't give him close to 40,
30 mil a year for Keegan Murray.
I don't want to do that.
Sounds like
he's
a lot.
what 23, 24.
He's still so young.
And if you guys go rebuild, he's going to average more points next year. Have a bigger
Yeah.
increased role.
You
He's
know
not
what-
going to play as much defense,
Yeah.
but his offensive production will skyrocket.
Keegan came out and said it's hard for him because he has to guard every position. He said he doesn't want to guard the centers.
Yeah.
And that's what he's doing. He's guarding the 5, he's guarding 1 through 5. And he's our only good defender.
He really thinks he's Dorian Finney-Smith.
Yeah. He's that type of player. But he could be a Tatum-esque type of player. I always remember Milo
similar
saying
body
that early in the year. Yeah.
Milo said that a couple times
Yeah.
on the podcast this year.
Yeah, and I was listening to the NBA Insider saying what the Kings need to do this offseason, and he brought up Keegan Murray and said it's tough when you get a top 4 pick in the draft that has so much potential and all this stuff, and then you make him an afterthought. You make him the 5th option every night on offense.
That's what the Bulls did with Patrick
And
Williams.
it's just, Patrick
now-
Williams kind of sucks, in my opinion.
He was solid his rookie year,
I don't
and
like
then
his
they
game
kind
at
of
all.
sucked. But everybody compared him to Kawhi.
I don't like Patrick Williams' game at all. I think Keegan is
Yeah,
way
no, now
above
he
that.
sucks
Yeah.
because I felt the confidence is
Yeah,
shot.
yeah. But I mean,
like, with
Keegan's
the
shown
Warriors, too.
potential. He's had games. Has Patrick Williams ever had a game of dropping? How many did he have in that Utah game a while ago? 45,
12 threes.
Yeah, 12
Yeah.
threes. It's like he has all the potential to be one of the guys on offense, and then you just make him an afterthought with DeMar and Zach on the floor, just sitting in the corner, not getting involved at all. And then, hey, go guard the best guy every night. It's not that fun of a
No.
thing when you've got a top 4 pick with that much
I think
potential.
he was
His
better
career
with
high is
De'Aaron
35.
offensively.
35, and then his next is 25, so it's
Keegan?
really...
Or
No,
Williams?
Pat Will.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so I mean, we're all on board to sign him, but it's going to be some moving parts before that. I think.
for sure.
Yeah. Malik also said he's ride or die with Sac. Love to hear that.
Yeah.
He said, "Don't question my loyalty. I'm here.
I'm here.
I'm riding or dying." So,
That'll be the most intriguing
Malik's
piece
my
for
favorite
teams, though.
player,
As
man.
a sixth man like that.
Fucks with Malik.
you like Malik? Favorite player?
The
Can't be mad at that.
only thing that I will scare you guys with is I think Keon Ellis might be trade value.
See, you say that, and he definitely has high value.
Dude.
We could get a lot back for him, but
It's just like we
Scott Perry's that defensive-minded guy.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think he
He's
don't
probably
going to
want to build with him.
would then I don't know, Malik might be gone.
Yeah, I could
That's the
definitely
thing.
see
Yeah.
Malik being gone before Keon. Even though Malik is like way better, but
That's just the thing. We don't.
Yeah.
And then if we keep Zach LaVine, which I don't think we will, we just have so many shooting guards that don't work well together.
Like, what's Malik's role? Like, what's his role? He's the best as a 6 man.
I think that's what they need to get him back to this year. So that's how they got to kind of build through. And I want to keep Malik as that. It's like, I mean, whatever he plays, besides the main point guard. Like, I don't
Besides
do
the
that
main point
anymore.
guard, yeah.
But as a 6 man, I think for what do we have him for? Two more years
On a
under
good
contract.
contract.
4 years, yeah.
Yeah, I would rather keep that. I mean, not saying I'd rather keep that than Keon, but I definitely want to keep Malik for sure. And he's just one of the guys that wants to be here. So I don't think that's something you would really want to do. Like, if there's a few guys that want to be here and want to play here,
That's
so.
true.
Yeah.
I mean, we just talked about how hard it's going to be to get anyone to want to come to Sacramento. And Malik said he's ride or die with the city. But, I just have question marks about what his role would be. Starting him at the point, obviously shouldn't do that ever again. Starting him at the 2, I don't like either. Because, most of these teams out west are watching the playoffs. Most of their 2 guards are defensive guys. Someone that you can guard multiple positions. So that Keegan doesn't have to guard the best guy every night.
Well, I think when he was starting with Fox, I think that was kind of, besides the 6 man role where he was playing his best. I mean, he was averaging like 21 and 6 like through that period. But it's just like you said, it has to be paired with more defenders in the starting role if he's going to start. But that's why I like him coming off the bench, because I'm not worried mostly about his defense if he's coming off 6 man. I'm worried about what he's doing offensively.
Yeah, but if you're starting him, you got to worry about the defense. And I think it worked with De'Aaron because, I mean, we all talk down on De'Aaron a little bit, but he can
when
play
he's not,
defense.
when he's turned up.
Yeah. He plays great defense most of the time when he
he's
tries.
not-
When he tries.
Yeah. Well, one more thing. Laravia said he'd love to stay. I mean, kind of given the politically correct answer there.
Yeah.
I don't know what else he's supposed to say, but I really hope we keep him, man. He was fun to watch.
I think the cap's like $5 million.
Yeah.
I think I heard Mo talking about that.
Same
Shout out Mo.
situation with the Lakers when we had Malik.
Oh, you couldn't sign him to more than 5? Yeah.
And there was no way around it without hard capping us.
Yeah. Someone can go out there and offer him 6, and he's going to take
He's
it
gonna
because
take
it's
that
1 more
immediately.
mil. Why
Yeah.
would you not?
Plus,
I mean, can't be mad
the
at him.
King situation.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably says that, but every player is going to say something like that. I feel like
He did say he loved how Doug, used
the
him,
thing.
and he played a ton of
He
minutes.
said
He
he
got an
wants,
opportunity.
if Doug, well, he didn't say this exactly, but if Doug is going to stay the head coach, then he wants him to get the job
Yeah.
if he's going to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a silver lining, I guess. Maybe we can keep him.
Hey,
Hopefully.
like I said it earlier this year too. Just get that man the best staff possible.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm down to ride with that for a couple more
Let him
years.
make his own staff, first of all.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah,
let
let
him work
him
with
get
Scott
that,
Barry and let him do that. Vivek, please stay away from that. Please.
Go
Yeah.
home.
Go on vacation for 2 years, get back. I promise you will be in the 6th seed. Well, anything else before I ask you guys what you think of these 3 players that are rumored to be in trade talks? Don't look. There's nothing else before?
I already know who you're going to
No, I don't have anything
Yeah.
Okay, well, it is up in the air. I've seen some Kings fans saying we should trade Domas for Zion Williamson.
I did see that.
How
Yeah.
do we feel?
I don't know.
I wouldn't be mad.
you'd have to give up more than just Sabonis, though.
Damn,
be
really?
Sabonis and
Zion doesn't
probably-
play.
Zion he's an all-star though.
Think
He's
about
a-
how
he's a
so
top,
is Domas.
But
Well,
like,
dude, Domas would immediately get like 3 All-Star selections if he goes to New Orleans.
I mean,
yeah, because he
No
would be on a
matter
bad
what.
team.
Yeah.
And
would they be a bad team because they have?
but
when you think
it would
about
be that
Domas,
situation where they'd cram the
thing
paint
is-
of him and Missy, they
Yeah.
well, now they're gonna shoot.
true.
And so then it'd be DeJounte Murray. He can't shoot either. Really.
Missy would be a good backup, I think. And if you have Domas starting at the 5 in New Orleans, they have the perfect, wings to play defense
Trey
around
Murphy,
him.
Herb Jones, yeah.
They got the right personnel
true.
to have Sabonis as your center.
So we just send big men to New Orleans all the time. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Also, that brings up Jonas. I mean, we've got him under a couple more years.
Yeah.
He might be gone as well. I wouldn't be mad seeing him leave.
I think him and if Malik is gone, you package them together. That's a good aggregate of
Yeah. It's a
money
good contract,
to get you something
That's true.
solid in return.
So, final take, Zion to sack.
No,
No?
Zion's a
I don't
star.
want Zion.
I would like Zion.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't
it would be
want
cool
Zion.
to see him here, but I feel like that.
I don't
Dev,
want
I know you're on board.
I'm down. The only
I'm down.
downside is might have to. I mean, it's gonna be what it is anyway. But they might go through a couple years of losing, especially if his health stays the way it's been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, the potential, That's
what's
ceiling
awful,
riser.
though,
It is.
is the potential for Zion is a top 3-2 power forward in the
Yeah.
league.
I don't want
Where
Zion.
Like
Sabonis is
6'5".
capped out 6'6",
6'6".
but he's like 280.
He's like 280, so I mean that changes
fast
things.
as shit for no
Yeah.
reason.
He is. I want to be mad at it. How about LaMelo Ball?
Yes.
Yes,
I probably
Give
yeah,
me
that.
Would we give up a first rounder?
give up
for
the
him?
entire team.
I'm fine with that, dude.
But then that kills our whole. I mean, we did get our whole rebuild.
What rebuild?
If we get LaMelo and give up a few first rounders, that kills our whole, getting a good pick in the draft next year and all that.
I mean,
But we did get some good draft picks. I mean, not great draft picks, but decent first round picks for De'Aaron that could be moved that aren't our own picks, like Minnesota's pick and I think Phoenix pick.
Oh, you do have a first this year, huh? You have Minnesota's.
Not this year.
Oh, it's next year.
it's
Okay.
just, if we can find the right trade for it that doesn't affect it too much, then I'm taking LaMelo.
LaMelo,
Yeah.
I'm down.
rocking with him. He don't run it
Yeah.
though.
I don't run it.
He don't run it. I'd be down for LaMelo for sure. Trey Young.
Yeah.
Trae Young's my number one.
I think I'd be
Super.
more down for him than LaMelo. For
Would we
sure.
give
I
up?
think it'd be easier
Would we
too.
give up Domas and Malik
No.
and a first round pick?
Would
No.
it-
Why?
yeah.
What's
all
holding us
three of
back?
them
Yeah.
for
I'm
Yeah.
doing it.
Trae Young
Trae
doing
Young's a
it.
superstar.
I'm doing it.
He's
That
been on a.
changes the trajectory of this team
The Hawks
Yeah.
suck.
and
Yeah.
a pick though.
and a pick.
I give him Levine and Domas.
I'd give him one of the picks that aren't
Take it or
our own.
leave it, bro.
That's a way-
What's the
I
picks?
give him Domas Malik, not a pick though.
I mean, if it's not our own pick, I wouldn't be mad at
You
it.
probably
Yeah.
can give
Bad.
one of those other picks that aren't actually first rounders.
Yeah.
That's the
And then
like,
throw in like
maybe a couple of
But-
second rounders.
Yeah.
something like
Also, I'm very hopeful. Watching the play-in, seeing the Hawks lose, all that. The Hawks have never got him another All-Star. But Trae Young tweeted out when Luka had his return game against the Mavericks, and he said he was never going to leave, and that's probably true. Luka was never going to leave Dallas, and then they trade him.
Yeah.
But I feel like Trae Young is the same way for Atlanta. I just
Yeah.
don't think. I think he's loyal to the soil there. I think they love him in Atlanta. He fits the culture. I don't think he's one of the guys that's going to request out, and then I don't think Atlanta would, go trade him for Domas and Malik. Probably not. Like that.
Yeah.
That wouldn't benefit them.
I feel like it's always the guys
I
from
don't- I
overseas.
mean-
Never mind. Trey's not overseas. I don't know what my point was here. Never mind.
Go on next topic.
Keep
I don't
Malik,
think.
bro.
I don't think
Fuck Domas.
Trey's definitely going to be there for his whole career.
No,
I don't know. That doesn't seem
That
like
would
his kind of
be
thing.
If it's
wasting
up
his
to
entire
him,
career.
I think he would.
unless they get him a star. But I mean, they tried with Murray.
Yeah.
Technically,
damn.
Wasn't the right guy.
DeJounte Murray was an all-star in San
At the
Antonio.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And John Collins was rising and becoming
Oh,
better, but then he kind of just shit the bed.
Yeah.
Bro, we're cooked, man.
Yeah. We're cooked. Well, anything else on the Kings before we officially move on?
Go after Anthony Simons.
Yeah, Anthony Simons
Anthony
is the name you're
Simons
bringing
would
up.
be
The most
sick,
realistic, I feel like, and the Blazers have an issue with their guard play, and if you do, they're probably going to move Ayton, and I feel like their center rotation is kind of set, so if they get a guy like, you probably can throw in, how many years does LaVine have his contract? 3, 4?
Yeah.
3.
That's a lot. So you might have to do a 3-team deal.
Damn.
But Simons would be the best option, I feel like, and most realistic.
If we keep Malik, then no, that would be horrible because they're the same player. I mean, they're not the
I
same
think
player.
Simons is better, though.
Simons has more potential, obviously, and is more of a lead guard, but I just don't think it would work out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like his game.
Malik was scoring 30 in the playoffs, bro. 2 years ago, last time he played in the playoffs. I want to keep Malik.
He's a playoff riser.
I keep Malik over Domas, bro. Hot
Damn.
take.
I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at
I'm
that.
not mad at that at all. Yeah, well, anything else on the Kings before we move on
Fuck
to
'em.
No.
the rest of the league?
Glad they're out of my life for 9 months.
Yeah.
Hey, it's shorter than that, man. We're gonna
Math
be in,
is
we're
wrong.
gonna be in
Yeah.
Hey, this
Fuck 'em.
offseason, we're going to have a lot of Kings content, though.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff's going to be
Great.
going on. Great. I'm excited for a rebuild, though. I hope we go in that direction of, young, fun, exciting team. Look at the Pistons, man. I wish we were the Pistons right now.
young,
Hey.
fun, exciting team. Damn.
I wish we were the Pistons.
Only like
They-
3
years
years
ago.
ago.
They really
Yeah.
were not
Oh.
2-26 bad.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They weren't. Yeah. All right, well, someone's
I
on
had
over
a
there,
name
so we're going to
once.
take a quick break. All right, how are we starting the second half of the show, boys?
Looks like a week. Looks like a week. Looks like a week. I know Tyler's gonna like this one. It's
Yeah.
Tyler Hero
Yeah.
over in Miami.
Hooping.
Hooping. 2 play-in games. First 10 seed play-in team to win 2 away games.
Yeah.
And make it into the playoffs.
Shout out.
Shout out. Playing tournament has been going on for 6 years, guys.
Damn.
Yeah.
We're getting old.
That's
Been
crazy.
going on for 6 years.
Started in the bubble.
It
Nah,
started
you
in the
gotta be
bubble.
wrong.
No, I'm-
Started in the bubble.
I'm Guaranteed.
Nah, maybe the
guaranteed
year
I'm
after.
right.
I think it was 2021 that I started.
So the year after.
Yeah.
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 That's
But
crazy.
34
That is.
points per game, 6.5 rebounds, 5.5 assists. Those are the last 2 games to get the Heat to the playoffs. Shut down every time the Hawks started like getting momentum. He's like, nope, I'm shutting this down. I'm
Yeah.
hitting a 3 in your face. And then in April, 4 30-plus point games out of the 7 games in April that he had. So that's pretty damn impressive right there. Shout
Yeah.
out Tyler Hero. Shout
He's
out Tyler.
balling.
Trade for him.
Yeah, I'm down.
They're not
They
gonna
want
get
they
Bud.
want Domas and Zach LaVine. I'll
We
take
should have
Tyler Hero.
traded. We should have traded De'Aaron there for Bam,
Damn.
or not for Bam, for Tyler. I
For
mean.
Tyler Hero. Yeah. I would have liked that.
We should have traded De'Aaron for Tyler.
Younger.
Should just not trade here.
Yeah. Well, I like that Luke Fox belief. That's a good one. Definitely well deserving.
Yeah.
He's hooping. Favorite white boy out there in Miami. Well, let's move on
If you
to
can call him a white
ICU.
boy. That dude's-
Yeah, apparently. ICU. Luke, I think we have the same guy here.
Yeah.
Our
One of them
guy.
at least.
Off night. Davion Mitchell.
That was
Brother
mine
from
too,
another
bro.
mother.
He's balling out there in
Yeah.
Miami, helping them beat Atlanta, like you said. Came up clutch in overtime last night, hit a couple threes, got some big stops on defense, and Trae Young just wasn't guarding him. Even when Davion missed a 3, he hustled in and got his offensive rebound. So
Yep.
that's
it
the
was
Davion we
Westbrook.
love to
And
see.
then-
It was like Westbrook today. Yeah.
Also, you got to bring it back to the game against Chicago.
Yeah.
Dude got to every spot where Kobe White was trying to get down the stretch, and
Clamping.
he clamped him the fuck up. Also, want to shout out. We talked about him a little bit more earlier. Marvin Bagley
Hey.
is on a playoff team.
I saw that.
His dad is probably so joyful right now.
You know what's crazy is
Them
that
two are in the playoffs and
Yeah.
we're in Cancun.
Yeah, Marvin Bagley and Davion Mitchell are in the playoffs, and the Kings are at home. But Marvin Bagley is on the same team as Jaren Jackson, and Marvin Bagley was the number 2 pick in that draft. Jaren Jackson was number 4.
Oh,
Now Memphis has both, and obviously Jaren Jackson is the star. But
Yeah.
Marvin Bagley getting some minutes out
There
there,
you go.
catching some lobs,
Yeah.
looking quick, athletic, fun to see.
Nah.
And then one more I see real quick. Diamondbacks
Ooh, Devin doesn't like that one.
are 12 and
Nah,
8
it's all right.
right now. Diamondbacks are 12 and 8.
They're solid.
They are 4th in the division in the NL West. They would be 1st or 2nd in any other division in the league.
Damn. NL West is stacked.
That's insane.
Dev, are the Giants down to 3rd place now? Like a game back,
Yeah.
2 games back?
They're in
Yeah.
3rd. Yeah.
Yeah. So that NL West is stacked. Dodgers are up there as well. I know you're feeling good.
We just lost in a walk-off homer. I'm depressed.
Last
Yeah.
night?
Today?
To the
Tonight.
Rangers.
Today.
The
For the
Rangers,
Rangers
lost it.
right now.
Damn.
Fucking go. Bruce helping us out still. Happy birthday, Bruce. Both of you just turned 70.
Damn, 70? That's
He's
crazy.
an old motherfucker.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we can move on
Yeah.
to around the NBA. We did talk about the play-in a little bit. Well, we got the playoffs are set. The Grizzlies are the 8th seed out west, and in the East, it is the Miami Heat. So those first round matchups are all set. We saw some basketball earlier on today. Some games going on right now. Knicks and the Pistons.
Yeah.
But let's predict this playoff standings, man. Let's predict the whole entire playoff race. Thunder and Grizzlies. So 1 versus 8 out west. Who we going with here?
Thunder and 5.
Thunder and 5.
Thunder.
I agree there.
It better
Yeah,
be
Thunder and
if they
5.
want, like Jackson said earlier, to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they get it pushed past that, I don't know. But I do think the Thunder will take you. I don't know about 5, maybe 5. I'll say 5.
I'm going Thunder 5.
Thunder and 5.
I'll agree there. Well, we saw game 1 just end a couple minutes ago. Denver versus the Clippers. Probably the best series in the whole
First
NBA.
round.
First round series,
Yeah.
at least. I'm going Clippers, man. I'm rolling with
Yeah.
the Clippers. I was going to pick them before we saw game 1. And
Yeah.
it went overtime. The Nuggets came out with a win, but this Clippers team is really good. And they were on the road, so.
It's just so easy to score on them, on the Nuggets.
Nuggets, yeah.
They have no interior defense.
Yeah.
Like the entire first half, it was just them walking in.
Harden. First quarter.
Harden was trying to foul bait a little too much.
Yeah.
From what I saw, and so he was kind of throwing up some questionable things. But I feel like the Clippers are just a better team. But then again,
Yeah.
they've had a better team for 10 years,
Mhm. And they
than
don't
most
win.
teams, and they don't
Yeah.
ever make it out.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's Clippers in I want to say
Clippers in
6.
7.
I'm going Clippers in 7.
Yeah.
I think this one's going the distance.
Damn.
Dev, you're going.
Clippers in 7.
Yeah.
I said they were my dark horse the other day, so I got to go with them.
Did we all pick the Clippers?
Think so.
Yeah.
And Denver won game 1?
Yeah.
I might have to switch it up, man. I might have to go Denver because I'm back and forth on this series.
It's gonna look like a fool.
Well, before seeing Game 1, I was 100% Clippers, but
Yeah.
this was a great game. Westbrook hit a clutch 3, but
Yeah.
That's why they won. though.
yeah.
Westbrook is. Like
Say
I
what you said before. He's like the Mario Kart.
Yeah, one of the boxes from Mario Kart. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
And when you're up, you're just not gonna get shit.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
It's crazy that they had him in that whole closing lineup, though.
Yeah,
at the
take
end
him
that
out of the
game.
fucking
And you
game,
knew they were
bro.
forcing him to shoot,
Yeah.
and then he kept shooting it. And the biggest thing was they just weren't rebounding in
Yeah.
overtime.
He just
Like
got
they're
it
at the
Gordon and
Clippers.
Westbrook were just crashing everything.
Mhm.
So it was more so just they were just going off of misses.
Yeah.
But if the Clippers rebound better, I think they win that game.
Yeah, true. Well, that was a great Game 1. I'm still rolling with the Clips, obviously. We all are.
What was surprising though is ever since they got rid of Michael Malone, they were saying that they wanted to put Pickett in instead of Westbrook, but they were barely using him.
Yeah, how many minutes did Pickett play? Like 5?
5 minutes.
5 minutes, yeah.
Adelman said that he's going to use whoever he feels like is best suited, and if they're having an off game, he'll use somebody else.
Yeah.
So, like, Pickett in that first game he had played after the whole firing, he had like 20 or something.
Yeah, he
I
was
think.
hooping,
was-
yeah.
But the next game he didn't play much because Westbrook was playing better.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just going off whoever's hot for that, hot or making an
Yeah.
impact for that 6-7 spots.
Yeah, all coaches should do that, realistically. Like, you've just got to go with who's rolling that game. I don't
Other
think
than
it
your
should be so set
stars,
stone.
the
Yeah.
role players need to be situational.
Yeah, I definitely could see that. That's why it's important to have, 10 guys that can play in the playoffs. You don't have to play all of them every night, but
That's what the Nuggets, they have like 5.
they don't have enough. Well, Lakers and Timberwolves, the 3 and 6. We will see that game later today. Who we going with?
Lakers
I know.
in 5.
Lakers in 5. You said it earlier.
Not even jokingly, I
Lakers
legit
in 5.
think it's Lakers in 5.
Lou Dort. No, it's not the Thunder.
Minnesota. Minnesota, drink some soda, and Bills and I don't fucking know. Lakers in 5.
No, I'm going Lakers in 6. I'm going Lakers in 6. I think Minnesota will get 2 at home. Not in a row, but I think they'll get 2 at home. And is going to have some 40-point games, but
Yeah.
Lakers are definitely going to come out with this series. I think.
Easy.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Deb,
you
I
go
know,
with
you're, I know
Minnesota?
you're picking the Lakes.
No, I'm going Minnesota.
You lie.
7.
You're just hating.
Minnesota in 7.
It is half.
We're locking
It
in
is
for
partly
Devin.
made out of hate. Yes. but
Yeah.
Go Minnesota.
Not mad at it. Not mad at it. All right.
will
Well,
be
the
hate
Rockets and the Warriors. This is a crazy series. I'm nervous for it.
Rockets in 5.
I'm going Warriors in 6. Warriors in 6 is my final
That's what I'm
prediction.
saying. I'm agreeing with you.
Warriors in 6.
Rockets in 5. They're gonna do them how they did them the other day.
No.
All 4 games.
You picking the Rockets?
In 5.
Okay.
Damn.
Rockets in 7.
Oh my God. Lakers fans are scared of the Warriors. It's official. Man, Warriors are definitely coming out with this series. Don't play. Steph is about to cook. If they run the double big lineup of Steven Adams and Sengun, they're going to get run off the floor.
Amen Thompson.
I am scared of Amen Thompson guarding Steph Curry. He did lock him up the other
We've
night.
never seen an athlete like him as
Yeah.
a brother before.
They
Steph
gonna
got locked
bully
up.
him.
Steph got locked up twice this year. Once was by Jalen Wells, where he had 0 points, and once
Yeah.
was by Amen Thompson, where he had 3 points in a game.
And Jared Vanderbilt.
But both those games
What about that game
were
we beat the Warriors by
this year?
30?
Yep.
This year.
Yep.
You play that game?
First
talking about
game
the
back
Kings
for
or the-
Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
He played 12
Bro, the
minutes and
Kings
3
are not
steals
playoff
off of
players.
Steph.
No, I'm just saying.
Like
Because he got locked up.
scoreless in the second half.
Damn. Well, those games were on back-to-backs, though, and they were going on a road trip, and it was just a bunch of different aspects to that you don't want to bring up, but they definitely play a part, and it's going to be different in the playoffs. So,
Yeah.
going Warriors in 6.
Warriors.
Going out east, though.
It's the only one they're winning though.
Going out east, the Cavs going against the Heat. I think the Heat can get a game.
Yeah,
I'm
Cavs
going
in 5.
Cavs in
I
5.
thought.
You thought I was going to pick the
I was
Heat?
like,
No,
what?
4.
No, he can get 1. I'll go, Cavs in 5
I
there.
think the Cavs are gonna sweep this.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it.
Give me Miami in 7.
Give me Davion.
I'm just saying all
Don't
this.
cheese. Come on. You know you don't want to pick that. All right. You're going with the Cavs, obviously.
Cavs in 5.
Cavs in 5. Pacers, Bucks. This one we saw game 1, but Dame should be back in game 2 or game 3.
Pacers still
Dame's
winning.
back next game. I think it's Bucks in 7.
Ooh.
Pacers in 5.
I'm thinking Pacers win this in 6.
I'm going
if-
Pacers in 7.
Pacers in 6.
If Dame's back game 3, it's Pacers in 6.
That's not crazy to say that. Bucks looked horrible outside of Giannis
Yeah.
today. Kuzma put up a stinker. 0-0-0.
He put a Tony Snell stat line.
Tony Snell stat line in the
Is
playoffs.
Is this the worst player-coach duo we've ever seen in Doc Rivers and Kyle Kuzma?
And hey, gotta throw Darvin Ham in there too.
It's fuck.
Always give Darvin Ham some slander. Yeah, it is though. Trading Chris Middleton for Kyle Kuzma. You
And
know, Chris
AJ
Middleton
Johnson.
is a
I
and
can't-
Middleton's a playoff riser.
I can't hate on Devin Ham. He's undefeated in the playing
Hey, the
tournament.
playing tournament,
All right,
Darvin
bro.
Ham's in.
Shit.
Yeah, well, the game going on right now, Knicks and Pistons. I'm going Knicks in 6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Knicks in
I
6.
wish the Pistons. I
like the Pistons
I like
a lot.
the Pistons,
Yeah.
but I think the Knicks are just they're gonna come together more as a team.
Pistons
this
are too
whole
young.
series.
Yeah,
they're too young.
They're
Yeah.
way too young. Way
Like
too
Cade,
young.
I just saw he has like 6 points and 4 turnovers this game.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm gonna do Devin's prediction. Pistons in 6.
Fuck what they saying. I actually was gonna say Pistons in 6.
Hey, that one's not too crazy. But I think the Knicks are going to come out. I'm a big fan of Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
I think the Knicks are playoff ready.
They losing right now.
They are?
No, it's not.
But no, it's
Oh, it's a tie game in the third quarter
Hey,
right
low
now.
scoring game.
Yeah, that's going to be a feisty series. Isaiah
Yeah.
Stewart's going to, try and fight some people.
Him and
Never-
Cat are gonna fight.
They're going to be fighting all series.
I got
That's-
more texts than total minutes played this year, I
Yeah,
believe.
it's going to be. That's definitely not true. I think it's more text than 20-point games that he has.
Probably than 10-point games.
Okay,
Maybe 1-point games.
he's out there to brawl. Going Knicks in 6 though. Last series in the first round, Celtics Magic.
Celtics in 4.
Celtics in 5. Give Orlando one.
Unfortunately.
They have the second best defense.
Oh, Corey Joseph is their
Celtics
point
in
guard.
5.
Yeah,
Um.
Celtics in 5.
Yeah. It was
Austin
a good run for the Magic.
Yeah.
Good run for the Magic.
Orlando Magic. They'll be back next year, healthy, hopefully. But yeah. All right. Do the Magic want Zach LaVine? I think they do.
Probably.
Take them.
Would we get
Who do
Anthony
we
Black in
get?
return?
Probably.
Dude,
You think?
They have
we
a
get
shit ton
that
of point guards. They don't
and-
need
Do you
them.
think they'd give us Anthony Black?
Probably.
Corjo.
And Corey
I
Jones?
think they
honestly,
value
give me Cole
Suggs
Anthony
and Cole
with
Anthony
Anthony
more.
Black.
I don't want Cole Anthony.
And
Cole
Anthony
Anthony is a 6-man type of guy. We need a point guard that's going to
That
play
is-
defense.
yeah.
Anthony Black.
Anthony
is that
Black,
guy.
and then Cole Anthony off the. We still need a backup point guard.
So you want both?
Yeah.
What do you mean
They're not gonna do
backup
that.
point?
Throw in
Dev
Corey
Carter.
Joseph.
Dev
Oh,
Carter.
Jeff Carter. I forgot Jeff Carter
Yeah.
on the bench.
He's not a point guard.
No,
Yeah.
not really.
I was
He's
just
kind
Not
of, yeah,
really.
yeah. All right, let's move on to the second round. Let's get through this. Thunder, we all picked them to win, and we all picked the Clippers to win. So who we going in that second round matchup? Thunder and Clips.
This is a tough one.
This is a tough one, but
But I think Thunder are gonna do
Clippers.
it.
Thunder in 6. Oh, you're going Clips?
Yeah.
Damn.
Clips.
They match up perfectly with them.
Thanks,
And
Zach.
I
I'm scared of
think
the Thunder too. Shit.
I'm scared of shit, bro.
No, Thunder
I just think
definitely.
Zubac, the tandem of Zubac and who else is there? Who's there for? Derek Jones Jr.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
they had him guarding.
I just
Jokic
think-
a lot of the game.
I just think it's just gonna be difficult to play them because Harden's the same way with as like Luca. He's gonna break down that center position, that pick and roll all the time. And Zubac has been a monster all year. And Kawhi, they don't have anybody to stop Kawhi really because they'll have to throw a door on one. Jalen Williams has to stop Kawhi. No offense.
They don't have anyone to stop Kawhi. I feel like they have like
J
that's
Dub
all
is
they
not
have.
the guy to stop Kawhi.
Then put Blue Dort on them.
But then you have Jalen Williams and Harden
Yeah, and they also have a ton of other guys off the bench that are just known for playing
that are
defense.
smaller guards though.
Yeah.
So-
Jason Wallace can go.
And
guard.
I've seen Caruso try to stop Kawhi. It
Caruso.
doesn't work.
Yeah, Caruso
I
and
saw it
Harden's a
for
better
3
matchup.
years.
Yeah, I mean you're not crazy to say that, but I'm going Thunder in 7.
Thunder in 6.
Thunder in 6.
Yeah.
Probably Thunder in 6.
Clippers in 7.
No way. Really?
Clippers in 7. They're my dark horse.
They are
That's your dark
I
horse.
gotta ride them.
Yeah.
Right
You're
with
going Clippers too?
Yeah, Clippers in 6.
All right, we're not
50-50.
agreeing on this. So the all right, second round matchup. We all picked the Lakers except
Yeah.
Dev. So we'll say the Lakers win. And then Rockets and Warriors. We picked the Warriors. So it's who you guys got?
It's 2-2.
Yeah.
Lakers.
Yes.
So
Oh, Lakers regardless.
Lakers regardless.
Lakers are winning.
Warriors regardless. Actually, don't play.
I got the Rockets in 6. No, I'm just kidding. if it's Lakers Warriors,
Warriors in 6.
Lakers in
shit.
Warriors in 7. Actually, give me 7. Give me 7 games of Braun versus Steph.
Lakers in 6.
It was Lakers, Warriors, Lakers in
Lakers
6.
Ah, excuse me,
Lakers,
both- I don't wanna-
Rockets, Lakers in
Lakers in
5.
5
I get 2.
against the Warriors.
Oh hell no! You're tripping. You're tripping.
I like
we'll
this
see.
guy.
We'll see. Steph, put him on your back.
I don't want to pick that one. I won't be watching that.
I think it's Lakers in 6. Like, yeah.
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 I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
I'm going Warriors.
It's just Luca and LeBron. Like, Luka was in the finals
It's
last year.
just Steph and
Hey,
Draymond.
Reeves
you know?
and Luka done.
And then A. Reeves, dude. Like, goddamn.
Hey, Pod's gonna lock him up.
Luka is on a mission for that ring. And
You don't even believe that shit.
He's gonna do something.
LeBron's also on a mission to cement his name at the top of the fucking list forever.
What does he have to cement, bro?
He's done it all.
Actually, fuck
No,
it.
like I'm saying, like for like the rest of like the, and because I believe he is the greatest player of all time.
Give me the Warriors.
But for the rest of the NBA, like old heads and shit,
That's-
if he wins another one, they're gonna be like, I can't
It's
argue.
a what have you done for me recently type of league. So
Well, that's
That-
the
that's
thing.
your point,
But
yeah.
then, like, LeBron is 40 fucking
Yeah.
years old.
Yeah.
Played 72 games, averaged 25 a
he played
game,
72.
Yep.
That's a lot.
and
So-
was
Respect.
he was the anchor
He was all defensive. You had him. And
Second
clutch
team.
player of the year.
and clutch player, and
I
all
feel
made
like
first.
it's,
Oh my god.
if he wins this, then my dad would even probably say that LeBron is the best player of all
And,
time.
yeah,
and
I
he's
think-
a Kobe lover.
Yeah.
He fucking loves Kobe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Braun, Braun haters will have to shut up if the Lakers go on a big run. That's for sure. But yeah, I'm going Warriors. Definitely going to be a tough one.
Well, they're
I don't
gonna-
know how well they match up with them.
The
But
Lakers are getting
should be
beat in the
fun.
first round by the Timberwolves anyway, so
yeah, I don't think anyone believes that.
I believe it.
All right. Well,
I believe
conference
in you.
finals. Let's go individually. I had the Warriors in it, and I had the Thunder in it.
I had Lakers, Clippers.
You have Lakers, Clippers. Damn, LA. I see you.
Yeah,
For the conference finals. I wish we got that in 2020.
should have.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
The Clippers choked.
Yeah. Who'd you have in the conference finals?
Thunder, Lakers.
Thunder, Lakers.
Clippers, Rockets.
Oh my God, that is absurd. One of those teams is making the finals for you.
If that fucking happens, we're all gonna be like, damn.
Yeah, we're gonna clip this out if
Locked
that
in.
does happen.
I'm locked in.
Yeah, he's locked. Well, if I have to pick between the Thunder and the Warriors, I'm going Dubs in 7, baby. Let's go. Steph, get another ring. Let's get it. Warriors in 7, going to the finals, winning it all. Conference finals for you, Luke. You have Thunder, Lakers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Make your pick.
I mean, I picked the Lakers, but
Damn.
yeah.
I mean, you got to roll with what you pick.
Lakers.
win that million.
Lakers are gonna go through.
Yeah. In what?
7.
7.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be a tough fight,
Okay.
but LeBron's gonna clutch up. Luka's gonna clutch up. I can't hate on Luka, man.
Yeah.
I can't
You
hate on
can't
him.
hate on Luka.
No.
He's him. Deb, I guess we'll go to you.
God,
Conference
that's bunny on
finals.
me, bro. My
Who
bad.
you got, Rockets or Clips? Who's
I
making the
got
finals?
Clippers in 6.
Clippers in 6. Damn, bro, you fuck with Harden that much? Or Kawhi? Who do you like over there?
They're just nice, bro.
They are nice. They are.
He
Nice.
fucks with
feel like-
Ben Simmons. That's
Hey,
why.
that's your boy, right?
I fucking hate that motherfucker. Nah, I just feel like they are, really matched
Bogdanovich
up
is
well
there.
against any team. Yeah,
Yeah,
I forgot about
Bogey
it.
Bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel
Bogey
like
Bomb.
they just match up well with any team you
That'd be
pick out
nice,
of the
man.
West.
Yeah,
In my,
Lakers in 6,
against.
Clippers.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Every game's a home game.
So
At
out
that
west, you have the Lakers making the finals. I got the Warriors making the finals. You have the Lakers making it. And you have the Clippers making the finals. Crazy take, Deb, but what if you're right? We'll look at you as the guy. All right.
Basketball.
Well, second round for the
Messiah.
East. We all had Cavs making it, and then
The Pacers.
didn't we all have the Pacers?
No, he had the Heat.
I had them.
I did have
Okay.
Heat in 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'll pick off your guys.
yeah.
Because I got the Pacers.
I said it depends when Dame comes
Yeah,
back.
I guess it does depend when
So let's
Dame
take.
comes
I'll
back.
go if Dame comes back game 2. I got Bucks in 7.
You got Bucks. All right. Well, Cavs versus Pacers for me. Going Cavs. Going Cavs in 6 there.
I'm going Cavs, and I think I
You
put
have
it
the same
down.
one? Yeah.
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 Cavs. I think in 6.
Cavs in
Yeah.
6. So Cavs win the conference finals for me and Luke. Dev. You picking the Cavs and the Pacers. So who you got there?
I guess I'll go. I want to pick the Pacers, but
Yeah.
I think the Cavs will win out in probably 6.
Yeah. Okay. Reasonable.
Bucks in 7.
Against the Cavs?
Giannis is having a 2018 Braun run.
Not crazy. If they get Dame back, they are scary,
I can
but
see that.
they just don't have anyone
I
else.
don't think-
And how healthy is
Yeah.
Dame going to be?
That's the
True.
thing. It's like
His cardio not going to be up there. He hasn't played in a while.
everybody else
Yeah.
is a very
Dame.
like
Oh, yeah.
hot or not player
Yeah.
for the Bucks. Like it's just like Green can pop off for what, like
Gary.
15
Yeah,
every
Gary
night or
Trent
something
Jr.
like that.
Tony.
Those guys
And
are the most important
Kuzma
part.
even is the
It's
biggest
just like-
like
Dude put up what
What's his
7
face?
goose eggs tonight?
Yeah.
yeah every
Not one
stat.
good stat. Crazy. Yeah, well, so you're going with the Bucks making the conference finals?
Yeah,
You got
I
them
think
beating the
Giannis
Cavs.
is just too much of a force this year.
Yeah. I mean, Giannis looks crazy. He had a crazy game 1. But I'm going
Any
Cavs.
other year he's winning.
Cavs are
MVP.
just too well put together.
Yeah.
There's no way
If they lose before the conference finals, the Cavs are going to be questioned.
yeah.
Because they had a great regular season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
That's going to be tough.
All right, well, the Knicks, Pistons, I picked the Knicks. And then, so Knicks, Celtics, second round. Oof. I've been talking about it all year with Milo, man. I want the Knicks to dub so bad. Praying for the Knicks to come out and win that. But I got to go Celtics, man. Just basketball mind. Celtics are... the Knicks haven't beat a good team all year, so it's
definitely
done.
the Celtics.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum is also on another tear.
Yeah.
People are,
They don't respect him still.
yeah, exactly. Still don't see him popping up at all.
Yeah.
So I definitely think the Celtics are going to be a powerhouse. They might sweep the Knicks, honestly. I'm going to throw that out
I
there.
sure hope not.
I'm going to say they
It's
might
not ridiculous
sweep
to
the
say
Knicks.
that.
I sure hope not, but yeah, we've seen it through the regular season
Yeah,
already.
we've seen that.
You had Knicks, Celtics as well.
Celtics in 6.
Yeah, Celtics in 6. All right, so the conference finals, I had Cavs and the Celtics, top 2 seeds. Nothing crazy there. You had that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Dev, your conference finals, did you have the Cavs and the Celtics?
Yeah, I got Cavs beating the Pistons because I think the Pistons are beating New York.
He had the Pistons in the finals.
But I got the Celtics beating Detroit. So, but in the conference finals, I'm gonna go. Is the Cavs? Cavs technically aren't an upset, but I feel like Boston's kind of everybody's favorite. So, but I'm gonna go Cavs
Ooh.
7. I think it's gonna go 7 no matter what, though.
So you're predicting a Clippers-Cavs finals.
Yeah.
Hey, clip it out. If he's right, that's crazy.
Clippers, Cavs finals. That's going to be the least watched finals in a while.
It'd be fun, though,
It'd
for
be
basketball.
Actually, no, I feel like it would actually go up.
Yeah.
I
I'd
feel
probably
like
go
it
like
would
6,
LA
7
and-
maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be a good one. Conference finals for you, Cavs, Celtics.
Celtics.
I know you're going Celtics.
Let's throw them C's up.
Yeah. I
Crippen.
am going. Man, I'm going Celtics again. I'm going Celtics. Give me a Warriors Celtics finals once again. Warriors gonna dub Celtics and their nightmares. Steph and Jimmy and their
You
nightmares.
might be crazy to say that.
No. All right, conference finals for you. You have the Celtics and the Bucks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Celtics 6.
Celtics and 6. So you have
Too much.
the Celtics and
Lakers.
the Lakers in the finals. I got the Celtics and the Warriors. You got Celtics, Lakers.
Yeah.
And you have the Cavs and the Clippers in the finals. I like it.
I love the diversity, man.
All right, let's pick our championship winners right now. What you going?
Lakers in 7.
Lakers in 7 against the Celtics. I'm going Warriors in 6. Give me a 2022, rematch. I'm going Warriors in 6. Steph average 35.
Celtics in 6.
Celtics in 6.
Yeah.
Damn.
I got the Cavs.
Cavs.
No matter what.
Damn. Shout
No
out
matter what,
Donovan.
I got the Cavs.
Okay.
You got to beat your dark horse, man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ride them that far, boss. But yeah, I'll say if it's against
Just so
the
that
Clippers,
they're going to get you super far, and then you're not going to
Yeah.
be able to get to the
then I'm
climax
gonna hop
at
off
all.
over to the Cavs.
The climax is crazy. Yeah, so those are our NBA playoff predictions. Lakers winning it all Lakers winning it all, Warriors winning it all, Celtics and the Cavs. We're all different up here, so this NBA playoff should be a fun one.
Wanted to pick Detroit.
Definitely a lot of parity. But yeah, before we close out this show, any talk on the Giants and the A's? A's been playing good baseball.
A's been playing good right now.
Yeah.
It was on a little easy road trip.
Yeah.
They killed the White Sox, swept them over there
Needed
in Chicago.
that. Tyler Soderstrom leading the league in homers.
How's the game going right now?
Dev, what happened with the Giants lately?
They lost to the fucking Angels last night, bro.
Right now, A's are currently down 1-0, bottom of the 8th against Milwaukee. But
Yeah, we did lose yesterday to Milwaukee, too.
Yeah.
Milwaukee's pretty solid.
they are solid.
Yeah.
Giants play tonight at 6:38, I think. Still in Anaheim, but yeah, it was only 2-0 yesterday. Tough
Please
watch.
beat the Angels, dude. Like, we need the
I know.
Angels to lose. Are they first? And they're second in the
They're
division.
second. We're also 2-7 at home and 7-4 away.
Yeah, I was going to say, we are really bad at home.
Yeah,
Playing in
Well-
SAC is not for us.
not for us.
Other teams in the American League, they got hitters, bro.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like I
Although-
keep saying, it's only gonna get worse.
We're 9-11 right now in last place, but we're only 3.5 games behind. So the AL West is very mediocre.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But
I said
that
that
gives
the
the
other
A's a
day.
chance.
Gives A's a chance.
Win a couple games, go on a run.
Yep.
But yeah.
Shout out Sac Republic. They moved on to the round of 32. They are going to be playing the San Jose Earthquakes. Not until May-ish, I believe.
okay. Me, you're gay.
Well, shout out to Sac Republic there.
Shout out Sac Republic. They
Yeah.
did just tie today in Phoenix. That's just a regular season game.
Okay.
So they are like one like 4-1 or 1-4
Got
or something like that.
win, bro.
One
Crazy.
win,
4 ties.
1 loss, 4 ties.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Dodgers, though. What happened last night? I know they got walked off today, but did Yamamoto pitch last night?
Yamamoto's
Cy Young?
he's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He had like 10 Ks.
Yeah.
He let up a good amount of
lost
hits, but
14
no
to 0
runs.
the other day.
Yeah. They lost 14-0.
Hey,
Who was that to? Who was that to?
the Cubs.
Oh, yeah. Dude, the Cubs.
Hey, the
can
Cubs
hit,
are
man.
nice.
Cubs are
Cubs
nice.
The Cubs won like 16-3 against the A's first game. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it was
Yeah.
18-3, actually.
Okay.
18.
They're low.
We had-
not even low key. They're
Okay.
just good.
Yeah.
It was 2-0 at the 7th inning,
Uh-huh.
and then they like just went on a tear.
Yeah.
And they won like 16-0, and I was like,
Damn.
all right. I think he put in Rojas, and he allowed like 8 runs or something
Oh.
to
I
pitch.
saw that he was
Oh,
doing
the
their like
position player?
wind
Yeah.
ups and shit.
So-
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's
That's
early.
okay, I just-
It's early.
Otani just
It's
had a
early.
kid.
Just had to
Shout
bring
out
that
Otani.
up.
Shout out. Soderstrom, I guess something came out that he watched tape on Otani in the offseason, copied his stance and his stride, and now
The
he's
same
leading the league in
exact-
homers.
There you go.
So shout out to Otani
On
for
some
putting our
MLB
boy
shit.
Sody Pop
Oh.
It's like, let
on.
me change my stance.
He
real
did
quick.
change his stance. He went from the leg kick to the toe tap, and now the toe tap he's leading the league in homers. So, and
Well,
Jacob Wilson's falling.
Pretty close to being 10.
Yeah, the A's need to get some damn pitching though,
Yeah.
because our bullpen's the worst in the league, and we allowed the most runs in the first inning in the league. So it's tough. But yeah, anything else before we close out?
No.
Chris Bassett is leading the league in .77 ERA right now.
Damn. Wish we had him. Yeah,
Chris
well,
Bassett.
Shout out A's legend.
Lake Show, Tank Show, Warriors in 5. So that's my final take on it.
Damn.
You want to take that?
We'll see what happens.
Tyler,
We'll see.
subscribe for behind the scenes content for when Tyler and Jackson goes bodies real quick.
The Lakers Warriors. That second round matchup better happen. But yeah, we'll close out on Beam City Sports. Go subscribe,
Go subscribe, please.
Yep.
Like, comment.
comment.
Tell your mom, your sisters,
Check
your
out our
brothers.
trivia video we just posted today from before the play-in game when vibes were still high.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
There'll be more of those coming. I like doing those.
That was fun.
We gotta get some more.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want to do, bro.
All right, we'll close out. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right.